And we will move to the next item on the agenda, which is greetings from the President of the Vancouver District Labour Council. So he's a person who's probably familiar to a lot of you. Stephen von Sychowski is the President of the Vancouver District Labour Council. He has been a member of MoveUP, he's been an employee of MoveUP, and he's always a friend of MoveUP. And I'll welcome to the stage now Stephen von Sychowski.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here this morning to bring greetings to your 2021 convention and to welcome you to Vancouver, the traditional and unceded territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. Welcome on behalf of the Vancouver District Labour Council, our 60,000 affiliated members across the region. Since being elected into this position in 2018, I've had the opportunity to speak at quite a few conventions and events. But I have to say, every time that I have the opportunity to come back here, to join MoveUP at a convention, it's being back with family. And after all that we've been through over the past few years, it frankly feels a bit surreal and a little overwhelming. But it's great to see all of you here today and to be here with you, and to see your new delegates that are here today, like Andy Ross and Jerry New and Robbie. It's great to see you getting the new blood out, so it's awesome. But seriously, really wonderful to be here. And as many of you know, MoveUP was my first union almost 15 years ago when I became employed at Coast Mountain Bus Company. And in many ways, becoming a member of this union changed my life. The support, education, training, and practical experience provided by this union over the years in various elected and staff roles that I held, the mentorship of many of this organization's leaders and staff members, past and current, all of that has contributed so much to who I am today and how I got to be in the role that I am today. So I'm always very happy to be here to catch up with my MoveUP family and see this union continuing the important work to improve the lives of workers. On that note, I saw that the theme of your convention was breaking barriers around diversity and inclusion. I think that's a really important theme, especially right now. It's great to see that because that's how we grow as a movement. It's how we grow in numbers, certainly, but also how we become a more welcoming and more relevant and broader and more diverse organization. It's also how we grow and deepen our solidarity, because systemic oppressions and backward attitudes corrode the solidarity of our movement and sap our strength. The flip side of that, of course, is that those very same things are huge sources of strength for those who oppose us, especially the most extreme elements within them. I'm, of course, referring to groups that were formerly on the margins of political discourse but have utilized the pandemic in recent years, the reactionary backlash against societal progress, anxiety and fears around COVID, to build a movement. And we've seen that movement, we've seen it at its worst in recent months, in protests outside of hospitals, invasions of schools. And we've seen it move from the edges of the political mainstream through the People's Party, garnering 800,000 votes in the last election, dangerously towards the mainstream. They're spreading hate and division when what we need to get through this difficult situation is, of course, solidarity and love. No, they didn't elect any candidates in the last election, but they nearly tripled their vote count and raised buckets of money. So whether in the electoral realm or as a mass movement, make no mistake, the growth of the far right is a danger to our movement, our values, and our country. And there's no force more capable of countering that and effectively defeating that than the labor movement. The collective power of organized people has been the driving force of progress throughout our history. We boost that power together when we stand side by side with all of our fellow workers, no matter their background, their nationality, their gender, or their age, or their belief. For a welcoming, diverse, inclusive labor movement united around the common interests of all workers. For truth, justice, and reconciliation with Indigenous nations. For strong, healthy, vibrant communities and workplaces. That's how we do what's right, and it's how we win for working people. Of course, it has to be said that it's not always going to be easy, and I want to recognize that. Sometimes doing this work means difficult or uncomfortable conversations. But don't let anyone tell you to turn your back or to abandon your efforts. Don't let anyone tell you that doing the work of building the kind of movement we need is divisive or too hard. Because if we haven't built a movement that's safe and welcoming for all workers, then we're already creating division. We're already harming our solidarity because we're excluding some to the comfort of others. So be kind. Remember, we all start from a different place, but keep going. And we'll build a movement where we all lift one another up and where we rise together. So I want to conclude by thanking MoveUP, of course, for its affiliation to our Labour Council and for its support of Labour Councils across the province. It's been a huge supporter of the work we do at the VDLC and an active participant. And even if you in this room aren't a Labour Council delegate, I want to really encourage you to come check out what we're doing at Labour Council, to participate, join our meetings as a guest, come to our education programs, and to get involved. I also want to invite you to visit our website and our social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Labour Councils are a very crucial force of the labor movement in the community, bringing our work down to the local level, engaging in municipal politics, and really bringing together unions across the entire economy and across our communities to do that important work. Thank you so much to Brother Black and Sister Mayhew for inviting me out today to your convention and having me here this morning. And on behalf of the VDLC, I wish you a very successful convention.